Welcome back, everybody, to the Chongqing Major SEA Qualifiers. We are here in this elimination series, Mineski versus Boom ID, and if you're only just tuning in, you missed out on a hell of a game. Mineski behind the whole game, like in last pick, working out fantastically for Boom ID. They got the first lane of racks, and then Gyrocopter bought a rapier, and the game got very hairy. Mineski made some nice plays, and in the end managed to sweep down mid and close out the game with an. They basically got gifted a completely free Aegis Cheese Refresher Shard, and then just took that and away they went. So this time around, Boom ID, they are going to be banning out the Wisp. Oh, it would have been so sweet for them if they'd managed to beat the Wisp, but just going to be banning it out this time around. So we're going to have quite a different draft, it looks like. Naga Siren being banned out in the first phase. Sand King still there. What else did we have banned in that first game? So it was Lone Druid, Tusk, Monkey King, Axe, Grimstroke, and Naga. So I guess the only difference so far is that the Wisp is getting banned. As far as pick and side, Boom ID had selection. They opted for second pick, and Mineski opted for Radiant. So we actually have the exact same setup as last game. So Boom ID actually prioritized second pick over Radiant. And Mineski prioritized Radiant over everything else. So both teams are getting their ideal setup as far as the drafting is working out here. But this is a Boom ID. They've been here before. They've been on the brink of elimination from this major qualifier previously, and they have managed to rally back. So we'll see what they can do here in this game. Of course, we've got the other series happening right now at the same time. TNC versus Fnatic going on the other stream for the first qualification spot for the major. But still have one more series after this. The winner of this gets to face off against the loser for that number 2 spot. And that's it. There's only 2 spots available for Southeast Asia. Though at the moment, it seems like Fnatic and TNC are significantly better than anyone else in the region. I think this new Mineski team making the substitution with Pailadai has shown some potential, but they're just not at the same level as Fnatic and TNC just yet. So the Grimstroke makes it through. Mineski gonna waste no time in snapping that up, and Boom ID, do they want Centaur? Okay, they're gonna pick the Centaur. Do they want Morphling? This Morphling has been very popular. I don't know if Mineski would consider taking it. JT does certainly play it. But Boom, are they going to go for the double core opening again here? They do seem to like to pick FBZ's hero quite early on. Of course, the Centaur is maybe a little bit more playable in a support role than the Sand King is, or at least as far as the trends we've been seeing. We do see the Centaur in a support role a little bit more than the Sand King, so that is still an option here. But they're really dipping into their reserve time already. They really did not want to have to ban that Wisp. I think losing that game and having to ban the Wisp, that might just be the series, to be honest. That's a difficult loss to come back from, and it's now thrown a spanner in the works for the rest of the drafting for this series. So, okay, they just take Bane. It's got good synergy with the Grimstroke, so taking that away from Mineski somewhat. I'm going to leave that carry pick a little bit more open. What have we seen be popular with the Grimstroke? Lich is certainly not terrible. PA is decent. The dagger has some nice synergy. Could even see something like a Skywrath Mage coming out of Mineski, but for now, that is the other kind of off-lane hero that's made it through into the pool, as they will just grab themselves the Sand King. Interesting that Boom prioritizes the Centaur over the Sand King. Actually very interesting, because Grimstroke Sand King is just a brutal lane. Like, I don't know what you put up against that that really copes.
10 seconds remaining.
Burst Strike into Inkswell with the slow. It's like, slow sets it up, then Sand King comes in and he's fast with the Inkswell, and he Burst Strikes you, and the Inkswell procs. And, like, what can your team actually do about that? Maybe Boom ID look to pick, like, a Shadow Demon or something. Jokum's Rubik is going to get banned out here. That's a little bit interesting, but I guess it is quite good against the Sand King, so Not too surprised to see that removed here. Or at least, like, you know, stealing Burrow Strike is pretty sweet. And now Undying banned. Boom ID with the Bane have the opportunity to maybe go for the Mirana if they wanted. That's been still reasonably popular in this qualifier, even though I don't think the hero is personally that good, but that's just my opinion. These teams still seem to be prioritizing it quite a bit, and it's certainly good with the Bane. So Mineski might feel that it warrants a ban here. They did ban it in the second phase in the previous game, so might just get rid of that. Maybe they'll get rid of Morph. What else? I guess they might also ban the TA. They're not amazing at dealing with TA just yet. Boom ID, it's certainly a comfort pick for Mikoto. But no, Phoenix banned instead. That's very interesting, actually. What's the Phoenix ban about? What are they trying to pick that's going to get countered by Phoenix? Something tanky, maybe? They don't have very good egg hitters at the moment, sure, but I don't think they would have been too worried about a Phoenix pick.
10 seconds.
Seems like a very nothing ban. This whole ban phase seems like a little bit of a nothing ban phase from Mineski. But there must be something that they're worried about. Maybe these next few picks will enlighten us. Boom ID also dipping even deeper into their reserve time here. As far as Mineski heroes that are worth banning, I mean, they might also be thinking about whether or not they want to ban the Morphling. Oh no, Dazzle actually made it all the way through to this phase once again. Okay, so Dazzle now finally getting banned out. It's interesting how quickly Dazzle's stock has, like, risen and then fallen this patch. Even in pubs as well. I mean, he got some minor nerfs, but it does seem that he became very trendy very quickly. I don't know if the core players just don't like playing him that much, or people are starting to figure it out a little bit. Yeah, there's that Mirana. But yeah, Dazzle seems to be a little bit less prioritized. I mean, it was still first phase ban against TNC in that series for Boom ID, but this time around, I guess maybe Mineski just don't really play it that much. It is certainly a Pile I Die hero, but maybe their cores just don't like playing it. It's not I don't think of it as a very KP hero necessarily. Like, I don't think KP or Moon would really be playing Dazzle. So, alright. Mineski now, let's talk about Mirana counters a little bit. There's Slark, always an option. Maybe a tiny bit difficult to play against the Centaur. Bloodseeker feels like he's been nerfed quite a bit, so I don't know if we'll really be seeing that. And Mineski just gonna go for the Ogre. Okay, so trying to fish for a little bit more information before they pick anything else. I would imagine that that's going to be your Pile I Die hero, and then Febby probably playing the Grimstroke. KP on the Sand King. So just saving those last two cores for the last couple of picks. Boom ID have options in terms of where they want to run this Mirana. Could be mid, could be safe lane. I guess they're just going to pick their other support now. They probably wanted the Rubik, so that was probably a smart ban, but Boom ID, bit greedy here, as they now go for the Enigma. So what? Centaur is getting bumped over to support. Enigma going to be playing in the off lane. I don't know. It is way more team fight. That was something that Boom struggled with a little bit in the last game, that they didn't really have a ton of team fight. There wasn't a ton of team fight in the whole game, but now they've kind of clearly got the team fight superiority. Knowing that the Mirana is now pretty much locked in to be mid. I guess it could still be safe lane with the support Centaur. Mineski are going to pick themselves up the Templar Assassin, but TA with Ogre, even if they counterpick the mid matchup, feeling like TA is going to be getting a lot of farm this game. So, alright, that's your Moon hero, and then they're just going to be saving JT for a little bit later on. Don't know what exactly they want to put, what they're willing to put up against this Enigma in lane. So I think there are kind of two options. Either you pick a hero that's just relatively good at playing by themselves and fairly safe from ganks, and then they just kind of 1v1 the Enigma, and the denies don't really account for too much because your supports aren't taking any of your experience. Or you pick something really aggressive that can take the towers super early, and you actually actively punish the Enigma for denying the wave. So I guess on the one side you could have something like Luna, or a Drow, maybe, though I don't know how the new Drow would work out in that situation. And then on the other side, you've got, say, like your Lone Druid. I mean, it's banned, but that's kind of the example of something that you can just leave there and not have to care so much about the Enigma denies. But Mineski, thinking that the Mirana is not going to be sent mid versus the TA, are just going to ban out the Ember. And now what do they go for? As far as ways to cancel a BKB Black Hole, they have none. Though that is a little bit difficult to get from the carry position.
10 seconds remaining.
What? So you could...
5 seconds remaining.
PL looks okay. TB doesn't seem great. Morphling is still there. It's kind of an option. I don't know if I like it that much in this situation. Mineski have a lot of time to discuss the pick. What is it going to end up being? I really don't know. Nothing jumps out at me. Other than maybe the Slark, but I just don't know if that's good enough, or maybe it's a little bit too greedy. Or if that's really like the tempo of game that Mineski want to be playing. I actually like this Void ban, because I think more teamfight would have been one way for Mineski to go, because at the moment they've clearly got inferior teamfight, but teamfight from the carry position is not super easy to come by. So what else? I guess we'll just wait 20 seconds and find out. Lots of discussion as to what this is going to end up being. They could try and put the Sand King 1v1 against the Enigma and pick something else for farming, but okay. In the end, they're just going to go for what is emerging as a patch staple with the Phantom Assassin. So I think they might actually put the Sand King up against the Enigma and then run like a Grimstroke PA Ogre aggro tri-lane. That sounds pretty good, actually. Like PA able to dagger and then jump in with the Inkswell. Boom ID have a support Centaur, which I can't imagine is actually all that strong in like a tri-lane versus tri-lane scenario. Mirana's kind of useful, but they're not going to get any Nightmare Arrow setups against a full tri-lane, so... Boom ID now just have to go for their mid pick. Has to be able to lane against the TA. And then also a little bit more lockdown for the PA wouldn't be too bad. I think DK is fine here. I think Dragon Knight might just be the pick. What else? Puck doesn't seem amazing. Then you're completely relying... I guess you have Enigma for push, so maybe you could get away with Puck if you feel like just more team fight is the answer. Tinker doesn't seem amazing. Bit greedy. Huskar, actually. Okay. So this is the theoretical counterpick to... Well, maybe... Is it the theoretical counterpick to the TA? Their carry player is playing it. So I'm not sure, actually. But I do think it's going to be sent mid. Picking Huskar into the PA might be a little bit difficult, but we'll see. The new Inner Fire disarm might be quite good this game. I haven't really seen a whole lot of Huskar, and this is my first game of Huskar in the... Wait, no, it's not my first game of Huskar in the pro scene. I lie. We saw the Huskar picked earlier in this qualifier. That was when... that was a game versus Lotak. Nets Rubik was just ganking the Huskar over and over and over again. He was having a pretty miserable time. We'll see if Fervian has a slightly better one this game. But I do say I quite like Mineski's lineup. They are actually playing FBZ on the Centaur, and Jokum's going to be on the Enigma. So kind of trying to get away with the position 4 Enigma here. I don't know if they're going to be able to. I feel like this PA and the TA both going to farm pretty quickly with Empower, and they're going to be able to take the fight to Boom ID. And this Sand King Grimstroke lane just seems impossible to play against for pretty much all of Boom. I guess the Mirana might do okay. If she ever gets hit by the Stroke of Fate, she can just turn around and leap away before the Sand King gets in with the Burrow Strike. But I do still say I think I'm favoring Mineski. This Phantom Assassin has proved to be just surprisingly strong multiple times in this qualifier, even in games where I don't feel like the PA is that great or she has a bad start. People get that Desolator and they get the -3 armor corruption talent and then just go to town. And I mentioned it right at the very beginning of the draft. The PA triple dagger synergy with the Grimstroke is actually pretty sweet. So gotta watch out for that a little bit later on. A few of these squishier heroes on the Boom ID side are gonna have a quick pause to start us off. All right, both teams need the pause apparently. Got a visual bug for Huskar. Mineski has some lag apparently. I hope it doesn't last too long. But yeah, looks like Huskar mid. So this is historically not a very fun matchup for TA. I don't imagine that it's gotten any more fun with the introduction of Inner Fire. Though the nice thing about Templar Assassin is that even if she's not doing amazingly in lane, is always going to have the option to kind of go and hit some jungle creeps and catch back up that way. And the other thing about Huskar is that he's just super susceptible to ganks. Like, even if he's winning his lane, it just feels like it's super easy for a support to run up behind him and just kill him. So that's something that Boom are going to have to be really aware of, especially because their supports do not have the best counter ganking potential. Like, Bane can TP in and maybe throw out a Nightmare, but that's about it. Enigma, TP in Malefice. Neither one of these is super impactful as far as counter initiation. Like, even something like a Lion or an Earthshaker, right? You TP in and your stun comes out and you can pretty easily save heroes, but not so necessarily for these supports. So even if Huskar is winning the lane, I don't know how aggressively he's going to be able to play, is kind of my point here. But we'll see. A little bit of chat wheel. Boom ID, unfortunately, having to stew in their loss, but I'm sure they've shaken it off a bit. It's a new game. They got new heroes. It's a new opportunity to keep their hopes alive here in the Chongqing Major SEA qualifiers. Oh, using a Pipe of Insight will allow you to negate spell damage from enemy heroes. There you go. There's not that much magical damage this game. What? Ogre, Grim, Sand King, Mirana, Centaur. Well, decent amount, I suppose. I guess Huskar also counts. Looking like he's just going to go for a couple of bracers early on here. I don't know if the new Huskar needs... what? Is there any point in getting like a Soul Ring or anything? Doesn't really seem like it, right? We don't really have mana costs. Don't know if we'll see the new Holy Locket at all. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of point. I think he just wants Armlet and a Halberd as fast as humanly possible this game. Going to be very important for him to have against the PA and the TA. He needs the armor, and for the most part this game, like the old Huskar, the magic resist would not have done that much really. So I think they're more picking this for the lane and the disarm than anything else. Could prove to be an interesting strategy. But we'll see how this Mirana farms. Again, I think they're just going to put the Sand King in the safe lane and JT Pi... Oh, wait, JT is playing Grimstroke? Wait, what the hell's going on? Why is Febby Phantom Assassin? What just happened? What are they doing? Did they misclick and now they're having to set it up so that they're playing at like one another's PCs? What happened here? Did they not pick in time? I can't imagine that like Febby is a more capable PA player than JT, or that JT is some big Grimstroke spammer. This is really weird. I don't know. Misclick maybe. Lag maybe. But you're not allowed to swap anymore, right? So I guess maybe their only option is to just swap computers. So they're furiously unplugging all of the cables, plugging in all their peripherals again, and then probably swapping keybinds right now. What a mess.
Squad.
Alright. Pi is back. I think that they just changed computers, guys. I honestly think that JT is now playing PA and that Febby is playing Grimstroke. We'll see. All right. Well, let's go. I've lost my train of thought a little bit. All right. Yeah, lag. Sure. TeamSpeak. Sure. Just say hotkeys. Just do it. Oh man, how do we have the epic conclusion to the previous game and now we load into this game and all of a sudden we're pausing because of all this. Oh man. All right, let's go. I guess I'm gonna call it by the names, but I honestly think that they've swapped seats. Like, we'll see what happens. Let's go. Mineski versus Boom. For those of you just tuning in, this is game number 2 of this best of 3 series for the Chongqing Major SEA qualifiers. This could very well be my last cast for SEA for this qualifier, so let's try and make it a good one. We had a good game 1. Boom ID, hopefully they've been able to shake that one off. They've gone for a slightly greedy draft here, but we're going to see how this Huskar pick works out against the TA. They're not even going to be running the... Yeah, okay, they're not running the TA in the mid lane. They're going to choose to dodge Moon to one of the side lanes. They're putting KP on the Sand King at mid. And Febby is going to be on this Phantom Assassin over in the other side lane. So they'd lose the strength of the Grimstroke PA or the Grimstroke Sand King, but they're getting a lot of damage on the FBZ here. Nicely done with the Inkswell from FBZ. Yeah, guys, took me a second, my bad. I'm now seeing the delay run out, as you guys realize, like I realized 5 minutes ago, that yeah, they've messed up the heroes a little bit. My bad. Was not paying enough attention. I just assumed. I just thought for sure that it was going to be standard heroes, but there you go. Okay, so they've dodged away from this, Huskar. Oh, FBZ gets the stomp, but it's only on to one. JT chasing forward. Moon with a little bit of right-click damage. Don't know quite about skilling up the Psyblades here. Whoop, can he Psyblade spill through onto the Centaur? Won't be able to find the angle. FBZ, he'll be okay. Heals back up. Doesn't have a salve in this lane, though. Moon just pushing it a little bit. Fervian, does he have a sentry ward yet? He's getting some delivered. Get some stacks up onto... Well, KP also has 2 sentry wards of his own. So they both have 2 sentries for this lane. We'll see how this sentry battle goes. KP does have a Quelling Blade, and Huskar does not. He's only got the 1 shared Tango, so... Advantage might actually be to KP here. Moon playing up under the tower a little bit. All 3 lanes going quite well for Mineski so far with the adjustments. Alright, sentry down. KP does manage to get it, but so long as there's no sentry ward in the lane, KP's fine. It's actually the Huskar who has the pressure on him to try and get it and keep his sentry in the lane. He could plant the next one even further back. They do have pretty huge AoE now, but... We'll see what he ends up doing. Because he doesn't have anything to instantly eat it, so he's just going to lose the next one just as quickly. This is a bit of an oversight. Really needed to bring some tangos instead of this salve. That decision could actually lose him this lane. And losing this lane could actually lose them this game. Oh, going on FBZ at bottom. Looks like they got him with the Ink Swell, and Moon easily brings him down. That is first blood. This Enigma pick is so greedy. I really worry about this. Fervian's still not using his sentry ward just yet. Do you even need salves as Huskar? Like, you've got all this regen now from Berserker's Blood. Don't you want to be low? The Sand King's not going to kill you. There's like no way. Nice refraction coming in. Dodge some of the damage from Moon. Still getting worked a little bit. Okay, now the Inkswell coming through. They're going to look to turn this one around. In fact, they get the stun. Bit more damage onto FBZ, but Moon forced to retreat backwards. So far, what's going on? The Mirana not finding great farm versus this PA. Oh, Febby taking some damage, does have a salve ready to go. Very aggressive build, no point in the blur just yet. Just needs to find an opportunity to use the salve without it getting cancelled. He's not really in too much danger. The Brain Sap's still on cooldown for a little bit, and he knows it. Fervian with a second Sentry Ward delivered here at mid. KP getting stacked up with the Burning Spears. Might end up dying here. Needs to sip in between ticks. Okay, he does manage to do it. One more sip, maybe? No. He's okay. And there's an Arcane Rune actually waiting over at top. He wants it, but... Huskar kind of has him under control there. SK... KP not using his Sentry Ward just yet. Still hanging on to it. Joku getting gone on. Does manage to get the stun out, but he doesn't avoid the Inkswell damage. So Moon, sidestepping the Centaur Stomp, does find himself yet another kill down here at bottom. Pi and Febby going to work up at top. KP just waiting for the shrine, apparently. They're just completely ditching the lane against the Huskar. I guess this is one approach. Oop. Mineski get... Wait. 3 bounty runes? 4 bounty runes. Why did Boom keep doing this? Why do they just give away all the bounty runes in both games at 5 minutes? Oop. Hi, alright. Does get brought down. Nightmare into the arrow. Does pay for that one with his life. So at least Boom ID getting on the board. But so far, Yeah, things not going great. PA's getting good farm, TA's getting good farm. Very unusual to see a side lane TA, but not really a problem because they've got this Enigma. Like, what does the Enigma support even do for the lanes? I guess if this game goes late, they're going to be able to rely on the teamfight combination of the Centaur and the Enigma, but for now, they're just kind of losing lane. Nicely done, they will be able to get out of the range of that Ink Swell. Stun is over, so JT going to be able to heal up a little bit. Completely whiffs on the Stroke of Fate, unfortunately. And ooh, Highlight Eye's positioning gets revealed by this scan, so they know that Fervian might be in a little bit of danger, though I don't think they can really do anything to him here on the mid lane. This is going to be a complete free farm Huskar. But just kind of standard 2-1-2 stuff happening. Kescute gonna get jumped on here. Nightmares himself. A little bit of an interesting decision. Gonna get stunned up. He had stick charges and a brain sap, but couldn't get them off. I think if he Nightmares the Ogre, he stands a better chance, but just a little bit of panic from him, and that's gonna be a third kill for Mineski here in this laning stage. 2k net worth lead already. Mikoto just picking up some Wraith Bands so far. FBZ is gonna be going for a Vanguard first. And then looks like he's going to be going back for the Blink. And KP mostly just farming jungle here. Okay, knows that there's a sentry ward down somewhere. Like, look at this sentry AoE. Oh, nicely done by Fervian. Pushes him out with the inner fire. There you go. These are the strats. The Sand King versus Huskar mid matchup is developing before our very eyes. And he's actually using that salve now to try and push the tower, keep this siege creep alive for a little bit longer, but he won't be successful, unfortunately. So this tier 1 going to take a little bit longer for him to bring down. Jokum still just finding farm over at the tri-camp area, but this TA doing just fine in the side lane. Alright, FPZ needs to be wary of these side traps now. Jokum, what's he going for? Probably just going to try and buy some arcanes. KP wants the rune, but unfortunately for him, it's a regen waiting over at top. They get a Nightmare onto the Ogre. They are going to be able to get the arrow through, but the Raindrop helping to keep Pi alive. He's pretty tanky. Looks like they might just be able to find the turnaround here. They Brain Sap onto Febby instead. Triple Wraith Band. He's fairly tanky. Kescute looking for the vision over in the trees. They've got the Sentry Ward down. Jumping over. Febby looking like he's also going to fall. Should not have committed for that kill on the Bane. Brain Sap, a little bit too much healing, and Boom ID getting back on the board with 2 quick kills. Very nice gold for the Mirana there. 750 gold 8 minutes in is actually amazing. And Armlet already up on the Huskar, less than 9 minutes. FBZ just wants to go and grab some more items, but the traps from TA actually very annoying. Scouting all the rotations into this lane, really preventing the Centaur from doing too much. He does have the Stampede to be able to get away if they put pressure on him, but Pi now rotating down bottom. Trap number 1. There's a second trap ready to go. They get the silence this time around, so he won't actually be able to pop the Stampede. Gets through the bug, or gets through the Phantom. We'll be able to come back now. Stun coming out. The slow. They've actually got the turnaround. They lose the Sand King over at mid, but Moon finds this kill at bottom. KP just being brought down. Didn't even get jumped on by the life break, it looks like. Just Fervian maybe pushing him out with the inner fire and then auto-attacking him to death. They're diving for more at bottom. Jokum choosing to stick around for this one, and Moon just going to come diving in. They are going to rotate the Mirana. Nightmare to start this off. Highlight Eye going to try and tank it, but it's not enough. The arrow still connects. Highlight Eye chasing forward, but doesn't have any mana to actually finish this kill. Is he going to be able to just punch it down? I somehow doubt it. He doesn't have a TP scroll either, but Jukes maybe? Stun? Okay, no. What can he actually do? Waste some time. Buy items. Does he have... Okay, he's still got some unreliable gold. One more TP scroll Pi. Alright, there you go. Get a ward. Get a clarity. Bit of a weird dive. Oh, a bit of a weird dive from them. Good rotation from the Mirana. That is going to open up some space for Febby on the other side of the map. Is just going to be going for the Battle Fury build-up on the PA, but really sucks to lose the TA like that. Big gold for the Bane and some nice experience as well for the Mirana, who should have a pretty fast, pretty fast Maelstrom this game. Oh. Fervian Dust onto KP. They're going to be looking for the turnaround here, though there is a little bit of help from the Bane. Keeping the Grimstroke controlled, and Fervian actually just jumps in. He's got the armlet toggles ready. He's got that bonus regen. JT about to fall. They're thinking about chasing after this Huskar, but they need to be careful. He's still got the inner fire. So difficult to finish off. I'm just going to be grabbing some phase boots now as well. A little bit of extra armor for him. Pretty happy with that build up. KP coming forward. KP doesn't realize that there's a sentry ward just sitting on the other side of the lane, and Fervian is just going to get both the tower and the kill. Okay, yeah, these sentries with the new AoE see so far underneath towers. Like KP's thinking to himself, like, okay, it's fine. I didn't see any sentry wards get planted, and also I'm under my towers, so what can possibly happen? But alright, they jump in at bottom. Oh, fortunately for Mirana, does manage to get the Phantom off and leap away. Febby still diving this a little bit. Another nuke comes through, and actually it ends up being JT finishing that kill. Nicely done with the Stroke of Fate. He's a very high level, 7 already on this Grimstroke. FPZ comes TPing bottom. Pylai did die over at top. This Huskar is on the warpath. And Moon with a Blink Dagger already starting to cut some waves. Playing very aggressively over at this top side of the map. What can they really do about him? So long as he has the refraction up, he can pretty much just blink away from anything. At least until the Centaur gets a Blink Dagger up, and that's still going to be a long time coming with the rate that FBZ is farming. Yeah, Moon just cutting waves. They're running at him, but they got to black hole him or something. Ooh, refraction on cooldown for 1 second. Jump forward. Alright, well, I said that they had to black hole him or something, but they don't even need to. Once again, the sentry wards are the undoing of Mineski, and Fervian just finds a free kill. Looks like, what, Dragonlance coming up for him already. 12 minutes in. FBZ gets us... No, doesn't get a stun onto Pi. That's an arrow stun. Stampede coming through. Febby going to be looking for the chase. Need a little bit more slowdown. This Centaur is quite tanky. 1800 HP is a bit of a beefcake. The Mirana also worrying, does a lot of damage. Phantom's Embrace still on cooldown. They do have the Ink Swell now. They're actually surrounding everybody at bottom. Febby doesn't have a TP scroll. He gets caught by the arrow. Nicely done. TP is coming in from KP. They're going to try and turn this one around onto the Huskar. Can they do it? He gets the inner fire, knocking them back. Epicenter not doing enough, though the Psyblade spill is coming through from Moon, though there is the save from Kezcute. He's tanking the tower shots. Everybody dying in this fight. The Mirana still signs KP with another Burrow Strike, and it ends up being a 4-for-1. Oh, a poorly timed dive for Boom ID as they come to bottom, and Mineski just bring everybody to this fight. They lose the Huskar, bunch of gold for the Grimstroke. Total disaster fight.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Alright. So... still pretty close on the gold, still pretty close on the experience, close on the kills. TA going for a pretty standard build. I guess that makes sense for the PA to just go for the Battle Fury build this game, given that we do have the TA already in the game going for a Desolator, so might see something like Battle Fury S&Y or Battle Fury Basher. Febby might also just need a quick BKB this game. KP has a haste. Not doing that fantastically in terms of net worth. But I feel like he's, even though he was mid, he's still kind of the position 3 this game. They gave him the hardest lane and they kind of just said, go do whatever you can. This JT Grimstroke is doing really well though. And this fast Spirit Vessel is going to be big trouble for Boom. Especially this Huskar. From what I understand, some Huskar players against the Spirit Vessel, you'll just go for an Aghanim Scepter quickly. And then you can use the really low cooldown to just keep purging it off. Which seems like a pretty strong strat. Ooh, Mineski. Mirana leaves the high ground, and who's waiting for her when she comes back here? Couple of stuns, quite a bit of damage. Does have one more leap charge, couple of stick charges as well. Pops the shrine, but that's not going to save her. Febby now comes jumping in, one last leap, but KP finishes the kill. Chasing all the while with that Bloodlust. And Mineski now taking control over this top side of the map. So Boom get the bottom side, Mineski get the top side, everybody continuing to farm, but I do worry about this Huskar's late game scaling a little bit. Though I suppose once the Huskar starts to fall off, that's where the Enigma Centaur is supposed to kind of start taking over the game. Enigma's getting pretty close to a Blink Dagger, though Centaur not doing all that well. And there's enough cancel on Mineski for the Black Hole, I think. Though BKB Black Hole, kind of a different story.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom
TA almost has the Deso. That's going to open up some Roshan possibilities for them. And the tier 2 tower actually falls at bottom. As Boom now going for a smoke. They've got tons of vision down here on the bottom side of the map, but not a whole lot of vision over in the Dire jungle. So just trying to head across and find something. Moon is farming these Ancients here. Looks like JT might be the one to reveal this. He's actually already got that Vessel. Oh, that's a tough story for Huskar. Okay, Boom. Similar to a couple of these TNC games and stuff, early Roshan continuing to be a fairly big focus. If they can take this away from the Mineski lineup, that would be a pretty big deal, and they're actually doing so successfully. Lots of sneaky Roshans in this series. Aegis on the Huskar sounds like a pretty sweet idea. Trying to keep his siege creep alive so that they can take this tier 2. And, oh, Illusion scout this out, but Fervian now has that Aegis, so 5-minute window where I feel like Boom can pretty much do whatever they want on the map. KP's almost got a Blink Dagger, so team fight potential for Mineski ramping up a little bit, but I think they're mostly just happy for Febby to keep on farming. Does almost have the Battle Fury completed. Not the most amazing timing in the world, but still pretty good. Moon just pushing out bottom, feeling pretty safe with his Refraction and his Blink, though as we've seen, it is still possible to bring him down. And all of the Tower Gold plus the Roshan has actually helped out FBZ a lot in terms of getting closer to this Blink, though he has already bought the Buckler, so looks like he wants the Crimson Guard before he actually goes for the Blink. KP... They know where he is. Alright, Sentry Ward down, straight into the Fiend's Crypt. No time wasted. They do manage to interrupt it, though. And the arrow does not come out at all. They were hoping to follow it up with the Stomp first, but instead, KP just Burrow Strikes his way out of there. Nicely done. Good positioning by Pile Die. Moon just making mincemeat of these Eidolons. How is Febby farming? Alright, just waiting on that Battle Fury to get flown out. FPZ... sitting right underneath this Radiant Observer Ward, so they know exactly what he's up to. And in fact, he's going to start getting hit by the tower at this point, so they should know what's going on. They're going to push the Sand King around. KP, can he find an escape? He will be able to get the Blink away. Nicely done. Still sticking around here in case Mineski want to try and find a fight. They go in pretty deep. They get the double silence out. Can they actually focus down FBZ? There's still the Aegis on this Huskar. Gets the inner fire knockback. They can't finish him off just yet. Tower's low, but not dead. They get the TA trap slow, chasing further forward. Now they're just going to look to surround the Huskar, but they have to be careful of this Blink Black Hole. Jokum's going to be able to look for it. He jumps in now, looks for the opportunity, but he's just getting ticked down by the epicenter. He got hit by Moon as he jumped in. The inner fire comes out one more time, but it looks like they should be able to finish the Huskar. Double kill for Febby as he jumps in and finds the crit. Mikoto does manage to get the TP away. But very similar to that bottom fight as Mineski now find a 4-for-0 Moon. I don't think he even meant to hit the Enigma, but he just happened to be... like, he probably hit Meld, and then either misclicked or just attack moved the ground to break the Meld, and as a result, he hit the Enigma, and the Enigma died. Oh, God. I'd be interested to go back and watch his player perspective, actually, on how that played out, but... Big fight win for Mineski. That's gotta sting for Boom ID. Having the Aegis on the Huskar, but still just losing that fight so easily. Feels like the Mirana just didn't really get in there and do any damage. I think Mikoto arriving a little bit late to the party. He is just going for an MKB first. So not your standard Maelstrom kind of a build-up. And whoop, it's done. Silence. The lockdown from these Mineski supports is great, and now Febby comes in to finish it off. Oh, such a nice gank. Camping on top of this Sentry Ward. And once again, it's going to be a significant portion of the bounties for Mineski. I feel like a huge chunk of their net worth lead is actually just all the bounty runes that they've been getting so far. KP is going to be going for a Heaven's Halberd this game. Sounds pretty good against the Mirana and the Huskar. Huskar is going to be going for the Halberd into a BKB. Enigma really needs this BKB. His net worth still sucks. Like, this greedy position for Enigma, even though the Bane is, like, taking it on the chin and he doesn't have any farm to speak of, the position for Enigma is still not really finding any room to work with. I mean, he's got his Blink Dagger, but what? He's got 4.6k net worth? I guess it's less that he's poor, but the Centaur is also pretty darn poor at the moment. And you look at this TA. The idea was to have the Huskar counter the TA on the mid lane, but a very nice lane adjustment from Mineski has put Moon all the way in the #1 net worth spot. Debbie still just farming jungle, nice and safe, getting towards his BKB. And once he has that, I don't know what Boom are going to be able to do to deal with him. It's going to be very difficult. JT just going for a Glimmer. Gonna try for a TP out. Can Kezcute find him? Oh, Fiend's Grip, not going to try for the Nightmare. Just 100% securing this one. Still a nice kill. That is going to be Huskar's Heaven's Halberd completed. Mirana now going to be going back for a Dragonlance. I really like the Dragonlance on Mirana. It just feels like it makes the leap attack speed so much more usable. Because you can leap and then still get kind of use the full duration of the leap bonus attack speed. You don't have to move around at all while you're getting those attacks out. Moon not going to be going for a BKB. It's just going for a early Hurricane Pike here. Getting sized up at mid, but Moon just wants the Eidolons more than anything. Top lane getting pressured by KP. FBZ still, after completing this Crimson Guard, quite a ways away from the Blink Dagger. I don't know if I like the full Crimson on the Centaur this game. I really think they need the Blink to make any plays. Their lineup just seems like it's completely ground to a halt, and they're just getting out-farmed by the minute. Look at this. Net worth heading towards 10k, experience plateauing a little bit, but already over 10k, and Boom just needs some kind of threat on the map. It's not that they don't have map control because they haven't been able to take the towers. They have successfully taken a ton of towers on this bottom side, but there's just nobody to really threaten Mineski. Like, you look at where KP is playing. They can't punish him because there's no Centaur with a Blink Dagger to come, like, blink dust him and then get a stomp off. They're gonna get the arrow over into the TA. Alright, nice little Nightmare gank. As I'm saying that they don't have any gank control, they will find a nice setup at mid lane, so Moon brought down. And Moon still gonna be going for an MKB next. Does not want the BKB, apparently. KP's even bought some Boots of Travel just to keep on stalling out this game and rat the sidelines. They're looking for him. His Blink is on cooldown for now. He's also going to get Nightmared up. They pop the Fiend's Grip. Okay, this is a little bit more like it for Boom. They do get the punish. They have lost the tier 2 up top already. And lines being drawn by the Enigma, I guess kind of showing that they need to get these lanes out. But still going to try for this top tier 1. And it only takes a quick jump in from FBZ. At least he's now got the Blink Dagger. Okay, so much more pressure that they can exert on the map. Febby does have his BKB now. And JT's still working on the Glimmer Cape. But when's the next big play? So Roshan is going to be potentially back up in about 30 seconds time. Mirana finding good farm, but the top 2 cores in terms of the net worth still over on the Radiant side. Huskar level 18, getting closer to his level 20 talent. Huskar's got some sick talents, actually. These last 2 levels for Huskar are pretty amazing. So with the pace that this game is going, Fervian looking quite good as the game drags on. Mineski's turn to go and look for some pickoffs. They don't have a whole lot of vision here, but Pi does have at least the 1 observer ward to plant, so I would imagine that that's going down during this smoke gank. Enigma, alright. Really wants that GPM talent, I would imagine. Oh, Boom finally going to get some bounty runes. They do manage to snag these 2 on the bottom side of the map. Alright. Good news for Boom ID fans. I'll remind everybody that they are on the brink of elimination from the Chongqing Major SEA qualifiers here. They're down 1 game, so this is a must-win for them. But hopefully not feeling that pressure too much. Just able to keep on playing their same old dotes. Mineski still controlling the top side of the map. Boom controlling the bottom, but they see the Mirana isn't here yet, and they just jump straight onto the Enigma. Now the Huskar down below half HP already, gonna have to be forced to deal with the Phantom. They do get the disarm out. Stomp not gonna catch Febby as he pops the BKB just in time. Buyback from the Enigma. He's TPing over to the Shrine. Can he find a good black hole opportunity? He catches it onto 2, but KP jumps through. He manages to cancel it. Febby's still being Fiend Script. Where is the TA? Now he finally arrives. Moon with the damage, finds a double kill immediately. Looks for the third. Should be able to finish up the Huskar, but no, the disarm comes in. The Heaven's Halberd back off cooldown. Moon can't finish that kill, and Fervian just turns and finds a triple. Mirana finally arriving to do some damage at the end of that fight, but still nothing compared to what the Huskar was able to do. Some very nice halberd usage from him, keeping himself alive. A pretty good black hole from the Enigma, buying a couple of crucial seconds, and Heroes just turning up late. The fight got kited away from the TA and a little bit towards the Mirana, but the big reason that Mineski engaged there is because they see the Mirana just hitting the creep wave down here at bottom. So it takes a pretty big investment for Boom to turn that one around, but still a good fight. Roshan not going to be respawning for another 45 seconds, so Mineski will have an opportunity to get their legs underneath them. Moon, after that fight, at least managing to survive, is getting pretty close to an MKB. And we are going to have Boom just going for a quick pause.
Divine,
no explanation or anything, but alright. So I guess we wait. You can see though, once this Enigma gets BKB, I mean if he ever gets BKB, then this game is going to get significantly more difficult for Mineski. Because so far they've relied on either death or a Burrow Strike canceling this black hole, but once they can't do that, I think this game is going to get a lot more difficult. But the PA is still scaling well, coming up on that 20%. Not the 20%, coming up on the triple dagger talent. I think that's what you go for with the Grimstroke on your team, but we shall see.
You have done a great service.
And alright, Joachim is back. Also, Roshan not going to be super easy to take with the Psionic Trap in there, so. Huskar also just going for a BKB. Does have his 20 strength talent now. We've had enough pauses this game. Let's get back to the action. So many sentries planted for Mineski during that fight just to try and combat the Moonlight Shadow. And where did their Observer Ward end up going up here? Did Pai even plant it? No, he's still just hanging on to it for now. Okay. Mirana going for Manta style. And Mineski just smoke up again. This time around, there's no black hole to be worried about, so why not? They don't have Epicenter, but that's only for 15 seconds. They check that high ground, nothing gets revealed. TA Trap clearing the wave. They still haven't given anything away. They popped out an Observer Ward, but oh, looks like Boom may have seen that obs just randomly appear out of nowhere. Oh, actually, it was dire. It's dire sentries. What am I talking about? These aren't radiant sentries. Whoop. Moon. Gonna look for the jump. Fighting near the shrine might be a bad idea. Mineski, you're thinking twice about it. The winner of this fight should be able to secure Roshan. There's not very many buybacks available, so what you see is what you get in terms of these two teams. And they're both going to think better of it and just back out. Yeah, that would have been a pretty stupid engagement, I think, for Mineski to take. This shrine represents a lot of health for Boom ID, but only 35 seconds to go with the black hole being on cooldown. Highlight Eye, alright, did go for the 90 GPM, but we'll still be opting for an Aether Lens here. FPZ jumps in, finds an initiation onto this Grimstroke. JT does have a Glimmer Cape, that's going to keep him alive for now. Where's the detection? They just don't have any. JT, he's just fine, he gets the silence out onto a couple. They're holding this high ground. The Huskar does come in, gets the jump over onto Febby, but he just pops BKB. He's already sliced down the Mirana, he's looking for more. They get the Burrow Strike out onto one. It's a triple kill for Febby, making an ultra kill. He's doing so much damage with the Basher and the Bloodlust and the BKB. Give this man the Rampage. Can they do it? Moon thinking about taking it. Oh no, they can't quite get it to him. KP does grab that final kill. But in the end, Mineski are the ones who will be able to head into the Roshan pit, claim their prize. We got the Aegis on the PA. We've got the Cheese on the Templar Assassin. Phantom Assassin looking like just a fantastic hero so far in this patch. And I don't quite know how Boom starts to make a comeback from this point. Dota Plus already loving Mineski 90%. They're up by almost 15k experience, 13k gold, and they're just going straight for high ground. Huska's dead for 43 seconds. He's quite a high level. The Glyph's gonna buy them a couple of seconds, but Mirana, I'm still this Mirana hero. She just died so quickly in that fight. Didn't get any damage done. He's got plenty of net worth, but it's not really amounting to anything. Melee Barracks dead. FPZ needs to be careful with that Soulbind. He drags it over onto the Mirana. They split the disarm. The silence coming through. Daggers flying. Febby just wants this kill. He is going to end up losing his Aegis for this potentially. Fiend's Grip locking him down, but Moon just jumps forward and completely destroys the Mirana. And Mineski just don't have to leave. They're going to stay here. They head towards top. They already took the tier 3, the tier 2 here earlier. So why not? Enigma does have the black hole available. They're going to send the Huskar in and hope that everybody groups up, but Mineski, they're not dumb. They're staying spread. They're not going to give the opportunity to the Enigma to find the big black hole. They're just poking at this Huskar, waiting out his BKB. Enigma can't find the angle. He's still smoked. He's going to have to go in soon. There's no real opportunity to save the Huskar. He saves himself with the inner fire. The Enigma gets bashed. Febby pops the BKB one more time. And an auto attack from Moon finishes that kill as they now dive towards the fountain. And in one fell swoop, one fight, they didn't have dust. They got kited towards this high ground. The PA swooped in, and that is going to be the end of Boom ID here in the major qualifiers. They are eliminated. Mineski moving forward, winning this series 2-0. They have one last shot to punch their ticket to the major. They're going to be playing up against the loser of the other series, so either Fnatic or TNC. I don't know what the... Let's see what the current standings are on that. Okay, so it's 1-1 at the moment. So that's going to wrap it up for this stream, guys. The concluding match for SEA is going to be over on the main stream. So I'm going to say goodbye to you guys for now. I will be back for more China casting, so hopefully I'll catch you guys then. But congratulations to Mineski. Pretty impressive play. I'm interested to see what the detectives pull up in terms of like, oh, who put what items in what slots and stuff like that. My sneaking suspicion is that this was actually JT playing the PA and it was actually Febby playing the Grimstroke. But either way, nicely played by them. And that is going to be it for this stream. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any feedback for me, you can find me on social media. My name's just down in the title. And I hope you guys are going to go and enjoy all the rest of the coverage of the Chongqing major qualifiers. So see you guys sometime soon.